this is a weird separation of things. So African Islamic, here they use the religion as a separation and the localization. Latin America, here it's only the localization and nothing else. English speaking, this is not even the localization anymore. This is not even anything about religion. This is English speaking suddenly. And the rest, there is West and South Asia, which is only a localization. Confucian, which is this time only a religion. Orthodox Europe, localization and religion. Catholic Europe, localization and religion. Protestant Europe, localization and religion. This seems to be something that is biased toward the European, but more than anything, those bubbles that are named right there seems to have been put after in the map, without the fact that it is Orthodox, the fact that it is Europe, the fact that it is English speaking, been of any importance in calculating where those countries was located, all those countries located in this map. And this is something that is put afterward, sort of proving the bias of the people that have been doing this map, seeing how this is useless. This is because they think, the people that have done that it's relevant. But I would bet personally that it's not at all. And I don't see how they would have used this within their calculations. But they think this is relevant. They think this is what lead those countries to have such low, well, let's call it what it is, low values. So they think the fact that it's African and the fact that it is Islamic is relevant in understanding that they have low values, and the fact that the Protestant and Europeans is relevant to understand that they have high values. Traditional values emphasize the importance of religion, parent-child ties, deference to authority, absolute standards, and traditional family values. People who embrace these values also reject divorce, abortion, euthanasia, and suicide. Society that embrace these values have high level of national pride and a nationalistic outlook. Secular, rational values have the opposite preference to the traditional values. Society that embrace these values place less emphasis on religion, traditional family values and authority. Divorce, abortion, euthanasia, and suicide are seen as relatively acceptable. So, there is to me a problem already right there, because there is many people that put incredibly few emphasis on religion. In fact, there is no type of the new atheists are very representative of this. They don't put emphasis on religion, but through Jordan Peterson, through Sam Harris, they put a very high emphasis on traditional family values and authority. They are against divorce because of their traditional family values. Abortion is more complicated than that, and I have never seen Jordan Peterson go against that, but many of his base of support are against it. And I don't really know their idea about euthanasia and suicide. And survival values place emphasis on economic and physical security that are linked with a relatively ethnocentric outlook on low level and trust and tolerance. Self-expression values give high priority to subjective well-being, self-expression, and quality of life. Some values more common in societies that embrace these values include environmental protection, growing tolerance for foreigners, gays and lesbians, and gender equality, rising demands for participation in the decision-making in economic and political life, autonomy and freedom from central authority, interpersonal trust, political moderation, and the shift in child rearing values from emphasis on hard work toward imagination and tolerance. They put so much shit together. How can that even be a thing? Political moderation, really? The people that are asking for the most place in the decision making are the most extreme people within that society. They are not the people extreme from the right, but they are the people extreme from the left. And there is an acceptation toward the centrist and the way less extreme leftist that the economy is that it is, and that we should not try to tamper with it. So we should not try to have a participation within the decision making of this economic. And this is the same for the political life. The most centrist people are not asking for, so the more moderate people are not asking for more place than what they already have in political life. They are the ones that are fine with the system that is there in place, and they are the ones that agree to fight within the system that is already in place, such as it is. The more extreme people are the ones that are demanding that the political system changes and allows them to have more decision making in this political life. This is so much a bunch of stuff together that it's not something that is relevant. The social dominance of Islam and individual identification as Muslim both weaken emancipative values, but among young Muslims with high education, and especially among young Muslim women with high education, the Muslim-non-Muslim gap over emancipative values closes. Why are they talking to it as a causal link when they are not proving in any way that this is a causal link? They are making plenty of correlation, but they don't know if this is a causal link. They don't know if this is the social dominance of Islam that weakens emancipative values. They just know that in the countries where Islam is is dominant, there is low emancipative values. They cannot know that there is a causal link between the two. They have brought nothing forward to prove that. Obviously, I have not saying everything they've done, but they are not saying anything about that right there. And again, African Islam, Latin America, no region anymore, Confucian, no location anymore, English speaking, none of the previous characteristic, only the language now. Ex-communist, only political ideology represented. They are making a lot of correlation, which is not what you want to do to prove what is argued through such a map. This map, let's be clear about it, clearly argued that not only Christianism is better than other religion, but Protestant is apparently better than any other Christian religion, is revealing of a bias that many people in our Western industrialized countries have, which is that Islam is very bad in itself. It is what is bringing the values of the people towards bad values and bad acceptation of the gays without any proof, except the fact that all those countries tends to accept less the gays, tend to agree more with the authoritarian government, and so on, with forgetting completely about the political and economical situation of these countries, which is completely different compared to the Christian world, where the Christian world, the Islamic world, have been the colonies of a huge part of the Christian world. The Islamic part are still suffering through the consequence of this colonial era, but more than anything, they are suffering through economical pressure by mostly Christian countries. Oh yeah, it seems completely... Anyway, I don't have anything else to say about this shit. The funding does not come from any, weirdly enough, from any of the African Muslim countries. This is not surprising, they are poor, but yeah. For anyone that's watching this video on YouTube, my claim is that those bubbles around the countries are completely bullshit and are trying to state something that is completely untrue and that is not possible for us to know just right now, which is that Islam, apparently according to them, is inferior religion in terms of values, and Christianism is better. So I'm stating that it's bullshit. Please correct me if you know better.